everybody, welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, day 5 here on the 31 Days of Horror Vol.3 is here, and I've got a good one for you guys. Now, this is a rewatch for me. When I first saw this film last year, the year before when I got it, I was a little intoxicated, but I do remember this film, and I really wanted to do another film by this director. I started off last year's 31 Days of Horror, day 1, with a film called Fetus, directed by Brian Pollin. So the film in question here from 2010 is Blood Pigs. Yes, you can tell with a title like that it's going to be probably what it's supposed to be. If you're familiar with Brian Pollin's work, he directed films like Bone Sickness, Fetus, Cryptic Plasm, and Blood Pigs, of course. And among films, he's directed a few other ones, but those are the ones I've seen before. Of course, Brian Pollin representing Morbid Vision Films, and these are kind of dubbed as like gore films, you know. But yeah, getting to the synopsis of this one, basically we have a few characters that we follow in this film who are living in this post-apocalyptic world. They're living in the fallout from the biochemical warfare, and you know, things are very scarce. You know, the food source is very scarce. They can't really grow any food because the ground, the soil has been contaminated. And, you know, there's zombies walking around in this post-apocalyptic world, and they're forced to defend themselves against them. So once the food source gets scarce enough, they have to resort to cannibalism, which is, you know, hunting these zombies and actually eating them. But as time goes on, the zombies start to actually mutate from the chemical warfare, and they start to mutate from the inside out, and they become like these vicious creatures, and now it's a battle against them, you know. And that's basically the premise of your film. Now, my thoughts on this film, god damn, man, this is like 85 minutes of pure gore. It's just amazing. I absolutely adore Brian Pollin's films. This guy puts so much effort in. He has so much ambition put into his films, and it really shows on screen because there's so many effects. You know, it's like Olaf Ittenbach's films, you know, the film I did from Day 2, Black Pass, so much ambition in low-budget films. This is indie horror done right. So much ambition, so much detail, and, you know, put into the effects, and that's what it's really about. I mean, let's face it, we're not going to be winning any awards for the narrative in these films and things like that. It's all about the gore. These films are dubbed as gore films, and that's what you're going to get within them. I love this film. I think it's fantastic. First of all, I'm a huge fan of post-apocalyptic films. I love cannibal films. I love gore films. I love monster films, and you get everything in this one. You get all that stuff in there. You can't ask for any more. Like I said, you know, the narrative is a little bit weak. You know, you follow your main characters with Rob and Gary, you know, and they're survivalists from the war. And there's a really cool scene, actually, where Rob tells the backstory of what happened to his family and stuff, which actually has a cameo from Brian Pollin in the film, which is always cool to see Brian in the films. And but that scene right there is just fucking amazing. So damn gory and things like that. But it's really, really relentless. Like, it never lays up. I have to say, man, the effects are top notch. There's so many cool different effects, but the zombies themselves in this film look fantastic. I would kind of say that they're maybe inspired by Fulci's Zombie, but they're even more despicable and gross to look at. Like, he does a really good job with the design of the zombies in this film, because they're not just Walking Dead. Like, they are rotten Walking Dead. Like, really gross, vicious looking things. Absolutely love it, man. It's really, really great stuff. Yeah, all in all, man, this one's it goes by fast, man. This is a great film to throw on with your buddies. Grab some beer and just watch the gore flow, the blood flow. There's so many interesting kills. I love this one in this film where this person's just getting torn up by this car tire. It's fucking hilarious the way it goes down, but nothing is as cool as the end of this film, I have to say, man. Throughout all the zombies, all the action through this film, what the end comes to is awesome. It's like, I'll just say 2 words: super zombie. Let's just put it that way. I think it's really damn cool that Pollin put that much effort into this film to create what he did with the end scene, because it's relentless. Last 40 minutes of this film never stop, and I think it's awesome that he developed, you know, he went one step further, because most indie films, when you're doing a zombie film, you're dealing with zombies, survival, things like that. Well, he took it one step further with the zombies and started to mutate them into something else. And I think that's very, very creative. You know, even though the narrative lacks in story itself, it still is creative enough to keep you interested throughout the whole film. I think it's really fantastic stuff. Really great. The movie sounds awesome. My biggest complaint with the film, though, and I'm wondering if it's limitations within the transfer. But when you're watching the film at first, like, it does get a little bit blurry at times from the cinematography. It's not shaky, but it's it's handheld cinematography and stuff, and it does get a little bit blurry at times. You get used to it throughout the film. You don't even really notice by the end of the film. But I'm wondering if that happens in doing the transfer, just the limitations from shooting so low budget. I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard other people say the same thing about the cinematography, or just the actual look of the film, but it doesn't affect your viewing experience when it comes to the gore. Everything's makeable out. You can see everything nice and clear. So, but that's pretty much my only complaint. It's low budget, and a lot of these low budget films do have music playing throughout the whole film. It's not hardcore metal and stuff like that. It's just more of a backbeat to avoid the limitations within the audio tracks. I'm sure that's what it is. But if you're into these low budget films, you know what you're getting yourself into. Not that big of a deal. Yeah, man, Brian Paulin's Blood Pigs, when starvation breeds desperation, eat the dead. I absolutely fucking love that tagline. I think that's brilliant. Here's a little bit of screenshots there. You guys can see what you're getting yourself into. But again, fantastic film. 8.5 out of 10 for myself. Another gem from Brian Paulin. I cannot wait for his new films to drop. I'm just so ecstatic for those new ones to drop. So, Blood Pigs, definitely give it a shot. It's absolutely gory as shit, man. And yeah, that's gonna do it for day 5, guys. I will be back tomorrow with, I actually know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I've been wanting to rewatch this film and bring it to you guys because I think that more people need to see it, because it's an interesting one, just put it that way. See you guys tomorrow on day 6. Peace.